Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here in the war room of crypto land. And Bitcoin is hurting right now, folks. You better watch this video. We're going to cover Bitcoin, CKB, and Voyager token. Things are not looking good. So welcome back to the channel, everyone. For the last month, I've been screaming and hollering about this ending diagonal. And I feel like I'm watching a slow motion car crash, trying to warn the people to hop out of their cars before it crashes, but they are not hearing me. And it's so frustrating because I'm seeing this $100,000 narrative be pumped all over YouTube. And it's just, I feel that it's so misleading and unhonest. It's one thing if you really do believe it. It's another thing to blatantly just abuse the trust of your audience. And I have a problem with that. That's some big time ethics concerns for me. I'm not going to get into it anymore, but let's get into Bitcoin. Last night, I said watch around 7 p.m. for Bitcoin to do something. We didn't know. We knew a Fibonacci time zone was in effect for that time. We can see this full body candle came down and bounced off this lower trend line of the ending diagonal. We got a nice bounce, folks. And I was thinking that, okay, maybe that was a signal for a bounce for another run up, at least to this Fibonacci retracement line here. However, we did not pass go, and we ended up seeing a nasty corrective wave, which took us outside the lower trend line of the ending diagonal. This is very serious, folks. Bitcoin has now failed to come back up and retest this lower trend line. It still could, but as of now, it has failed. So whether or not we're seeing some sort of symmetrical triangle build up to retest this $48,200, $48,000 level, no one knows. And I want to just kind of compare apples to oranges. The last ending diagonal that ripped Bitcoin was back in April, and it was nasty. We can see this price action broke right through the bottom side of this ending diagonal. Bitcoin came up for a retest and ultimately failed, and then we ended up retracing a whole bunch. I have questions on this, folks. First question is, so how much did we retrace and over what time period? Because history really does tend to repeat itself. So that looks like this level is pretty good. So we're talking a 54% retracement from this top out of the ending diagonal over a span of 35 days. And so 35 days, we'll just say 35 days, probably going to be right around September 27th, somewhere in there. So let's go ahead and throw up one of these vertical lines here. So let's go, come on, TradingView. I wish TradingView would display more dates. Maybe there's a setting I can do, but I'm not seeing how I can do that. Let's go to, what did I say? September 27th, somewhere in here. Let's just go September 27th. So let's just say we see Bitcoin start trending downwards. And if history repeats itself, we may see a very nasty bottom here. Let's go ahead and measure the retracement from this top. So this top is the nearest top to when Bitcoin exited the ending diagonal. And we can see that a 54% retracement over 35 days. Oops, I don't have my ruler correct here. Hold on one second. 35 days puts us smack dab on that September 27th level. 54% puts us at about $23,000 Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to repeat here what happened, but it very well could. And to be honest with you, once this thing exited this ending diagonal, I liquidated most of my positions. I'm not saying that you should, and this isn't financial advice or trading advice or anything like that. All I'm doing is drawing some comparisons and things I've noticed when Bitcoin crashed the last time. So it'll be really interesting to see what Bitcoin does next. I'm assuming if Bitcoin does fall, we might see price action come down and recheck off this 38.2 level somewhere around this $40,000 mark. And we might get a significant bounce. And then we're going to start seeing the YouTube channels come out. Bull market is back on. You guys know the narrative. Whenever price goes up rapidly, like it has done here, and I'm just seeing this. This is just what I'm seeing, folks. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could. Now, let's look at CKB and see what CKB is doing. My baby. We can see CKB's, it's kind of slumping around. We do have some sort of possible symmetrical triangle forming, and I do think that shortly we will see CKB exit the squeeze and possibly make a move downwards with Bitcoin as it moves. So I would say that, oh boy, if we see CKB death cross here, which would be on the 1 hour chart, so that really wouldn't be relevant. I mean, we're so close. We are so close to a golden cross here with CKB. And this is going to kill me if we get it and see price action bounce back down to around this penny level. I'm hoping it won't. In yesterday's video, I said CKB is probably going to squeeze down to about the 0.0149 to 0.015-ish level. And it has, and it's remained there ever since. And we can see this clearly on a 12-hour chart, the symmetrical triangle that has kind of formed. And if we do this, we might be able to really kind of dial this thing in. Trading view is being difficult. And, we could expect something maybe around this, something later on in the day for CKB to really squeeze. But it's not looking good for CKB in my opinion. Like I said, that's just me. We might end up seeing this come down and retest this 200 moving average somewhere around the 0.013-ish level. Off to Voyager token, and this is probably going to be a very bearish chart as well. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. Okay, we have some negative price action here, followed by some sort of symmetrical triangle formation. I'm going to be straight honest with you guys. I'm bearish on Voyager token right now, and that's just short-term price action, depending on what Bitcoin does. We can see a nasty bear leg here going into a symmetrical triangle. I do think at this point in time it would be logical to assume that the current trend will likely continue. Not saying that it will, and I am a huge Voyager supporter. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to let my emotions get mixed up with my money. This isn't gambling. We're all here to make money, right? And so if we run a Fibonacci time zone off this leg here, well, let's just go off this leg here and see what happens. I'm really kind of interested in seeing what this produces. So really, August 27th, the night of August 26th, we may in fact see some volatility occur with Voyager token. Not saying it will, but we may see a reversal to the up or the down, or we may see price action kind of break one way or another. With Voyager token, folks, I hate to say it, but until we see what Bitcoin does And what happens with this symmetrical triangle that is forming here, I would say that by tomorrow morning, by 10 a.m., we should know if Voyager token is going to fill out the rest of this symmetrical triangle to start making a move up or down. That's my guess. And my other guess is that, we may see a slight pivot point potentially in the impulse wave that occurs, something like this, or, something like this. Obviously, my drawing is not very good. That's really all I have for today's video, folks. Be careful. Watch your positions. Don't panic. But what I'm trying to say here is have an exit strategy in case the market really starts tanking. Know where you are at with that. Don't just try to come up with some emergency plan. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Thank you to all my Patreons. We've had a few new ones over the last few days, so thank you all for being here. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, it's $3 a month. We'll get your name up on this banner, business name, whatever name you want. We'll catch you guys on the next video.